What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Blue Chip Prospect. Today, we are diving into one of the more polarizing defensemen in the 2025 NHL Draft. We're talking Radim Mrtka out of Czechia, a 6'6" right-shot defenseman, skates well, plays with a ton of defensive maturity for his age. Sounds like a dream package, right? But when you look a little bit closer, especially at the offensive side of the game, there are still some question marks. So let's break it down. What makes him effective? What he brings in his own zone? How his game might translate to the NHL? And of course, we'll throw in a comp at the end of the video to give you a better idea of the type of player he could become. So let's get into it. So first thing first, like I just said, Mrtka is a huge 6'6" right-shot defenseman from Czechia. He's a June birthday, so he's still 17 years old, which gives him plenty of runway for future development. When it comes to ranking, he's basically in everyone's top 16 and some even in the top 10s, but just not too many. And I think he projects to be picked higher than his actual ranking because of his profile. In terms of stats, he put up 35 points in 43 games in the WHL after starting the season in Czechia, which is quite good, and he played a ridiculous amount of time, averaging like 3 minutes and a half on both special units and around 26 minutes of ice time overall. If you're drafting Mrtka, you're obviously doing it for the defense first. That's the anchor of his game, and it's legit. He's not just tall, he uses his size very effectively. He covers ton of space and ton of ice thanks to his long reach and surprisingly mobile feet. He's excellent at closing gaps early and smothering the space in the neutral zone. If you're trying to carry the puck in on him, I would say good luck. He's got a good stick, he angles you wide, and once he's engaged, it's really hard to beat him clean. And for a guy that's 6'6", Mrtka moves really well. Pretty well. He's not an explosive skater. He's not going to torch you in open eyes, but his stride is smooth enough and it's working for him. And once he gets going, he's got that straight line speed. He uses long, powerful stride to eat up space and eat up ice and get back into position quickly. And that's especially valuable in recovery plays or when he's defending the rush. His edge work is solid too. He's got decent mobility going side to side. He can pivot under pressure and does basically a nice job adjusting his angle on the fly. That lateral movement makes him tough to beat clean around the outside, especially when paired with his reach. In zone, he'll keep a tight gap, protect the slot. He doesn't really chase the puck. There's a lot of maturity in how he defends because he will scan the ice, rotate quickly, and take away passing option with really smart positioning. You can tell that he's thinking a step ahead. He's not reacting late, and he rarely gets pulled out of structure. Where it really shows is on off-puck reads. He knows when to step up and when to stay back. If a forward curls high, he ends off his coverage properly. If the puck pops loose, he doesn't overcommit. He'll wait for support. His pinches at the blue line is the same thing. He's usually well-timed and waits for support. He's not gambling, he's calculating, and if the puck gets chipped past him, he can still recover and kill the rush with that long stride. He's also got some bite to him. He's not a wrecking ball every shift, but when he decides to get mean, it's very noticeable. He will not do too many open ice hit, but he finishes checks in the corner. He asserts himself physically when the timing's right. That part of his game doesn't really dominate his identity, but it's nice. It's a nice card to play when it's needed. Now, if we talk about retrievals and breakout, because this is a key part of his game that ties directly into his projection, Mrtka is mostly composed under pressure. On retrievals, he scans early and takes good angles to the puck, and he rarely panics when someone is bearing down on him. He uses his frame to shield forecheckers and his stick to separate puck from body, which buys him time to make a decision. When it comes to the breakouts, Mrtka's game is pretty straightforward, and that's mostly a good thing, I would say. He doesn't overcomplicate things, and for the most part, he keeps his decisions safe and reliable. If there's a clean first pass available, he will take it. If not, he's comfortable just moving it off the board or resetting when things gets clogged up front. That said, there are flashes. Some games, you'll see him try to carry the puck himself, whether it's curling behind the net and building some speed or just recognizing a bit of open ice and taking it. But it's not something you can count on shift to shift. He'll try it in spurt, but the consistency isn't there yet. As for his outlet passes, there's a bit of a mixed bag here. He can be a little bit shaky sometimes, especially when he rushes the decisions or doesn't really fully scan the ice before, but then you'll see him snap a tape-to-tape pass to a forward in motion or split the defense down the middle, and you're like, okay, there's really something here. The potential to be a more impactful puck mover is real. It just hasn't fully materialized yet. He's shown that he can hit guys in stride with clean, crisp passes, but it's not a consistent every game type of thing. His game is more built around safe, simple decision. If the first option is there, he can hit it, and if it's not, he rims it around or reset to his partner. It's effective, but it kind of lacks some type of dynamism. So overall, he's more of a play it safe breakout guy right now with just enough flashes to make you wonder what he might look like with more confidence and polish. The offensive game, this is where things get a little bit tricky with Mrtka's because his offense just doesn't really jump off the page, but he did pick up quite a few points this season. In transition, he's more of a support piece than a puck carrier. He'll move the puck quickly to a forward, then hang back and stay ready in case the rush breaks down. There's just not much rush activation or second wave offense here. He's that kind of guy who's going to keep it simple, stay within structure, and let the more dynamic skater push the pace. But like I said, he did pick up some points in the season, but a lot of them came from basic puck movement like D-to-D passes or low to high resets or simple feeds to a winger who does the rest. There's just not a lot of offensive creation coming from his stick. In the offensive zone, he plays a very safe game. Again, he'll hover near the point, move the puck along the perimeter, and take the occasional wrist shot through traffic. He's not walking the blue line, breaking in goals, or threading passes through layers or taking available space to shoot. His decisions are fast and conservative. If there's an open guy, he moves it. If there's space, he'll throw it, but that's about it. He doesn't really activate down the wall often, and when he does, it's usually to just keep a cycle alive, not to generate offense. That limited offensive assertiveness might cap his ceiling at the next level, especially if a team is hoping for more than a shutdown type of guy with a good first pass, but he will occasionally flash offense and follow a play up the wall, get involved deeper in the zone, or take a few strides into space to give his forward an option. But again, it's more the exception than the rule. When he does it, it shows that he's got the mobility, the frame, the vision to make things happen, but like I just said, the assertiveness just isn't wired in yet. That said, overall, I think there's some untapped potential offensively if he gets more comfortable using his frame to open space at the blue line and start adding deception to his puck movement, be more consistently involved in the play. Maybe there's a bit more to unlock, but as it stands, he's mostly a low-event, low-risk offensive contributor. When it comes to compete and physicality, there's a lot to like here. Mrtka competes hard, especially in his own zone. He's not the toughest player to play against, but he does play with purpose. In puck battles, he uses his body well, he leans into checks, he boxes guys out, he uses his stick to strip the puck clean. His habits are pretty strong. He stays engaged in scrums, he protects his net, doesn't shy away from puck battles, and he won well over half of his puck battles in the WHL, so he shouldn't shy away from it. When he wants to be, he's physically imposing. There are games where he throws his weight around and you can tell that he's setting a tone, but it's not something that he does every shift or even every game. If you can add more consistency to that edge, become someone other teams generally don't want to play against, you'll bring a lot of extra value to an NHL team in a top 4 role. Now, if we talk about areas of improvement, the biggest question with Mrtka is how much can he bring offensively and in transition. Right now, he's not dynamic with the puck on his stick. He makes safe decisions, but there's little deception, little creation, and just not much involvement past the first pass. He doesn't take risk, which makes him stable, but it also makes him predictable. If he's going to be more than just a stay-at-home guy with a good first pass, he will need to improve how he manipulates pressure, opens passing lanes, and support plays off the rush. The other area of improvement would probably be to work on his own individual skills like skating, handling, and shooting. While he moves well enough, it's sometimes clunky, and his handling definitely needs some work if he's going to add layers to his offensive game. So what kind of role can we expect in the NHL for Mrtka? To me, he's got all the makings of a second pair shutdown defenseman, someone you can trust to play tough minutes, kill penalties, insulate a more aggressive or offensively minded partner. He's got the size, the mobility, and the defensive awareness to take care of business in his own zone without needing to be the flashiest guy on the ice. If you pair him with a puck mover who likes to activate and push the pace, Mrtka's the guy who can hang back, cover gaps, make sure things don't fall apart behind the play. He brings structure, he brings presence, and he doesn't need a ton of touches to be effective, which makes him a great fit beside a riskier defensive partner. Now, if you're looking for a comp, nothing is perfect, but I would say someone like Colton Parayko probably is the best one. He's big, mobile, defensively reliable. Like Mrtka, Parayko isn't someone who's going to rack up huge point totals or run your power play, but he brings a steady presence you can trust in your top four. They both use their reach well, close gaps efficiently, can skate themselves out of trouble when needed, and just like Mrtka, Parayko will try to chip in offensively from time to time, even if it's not the bread and butter. He's a type of player who can insulate a more aggressive partner and eat up important minutes without needing the spotlight. So that's gonna wrap it up for Radim Mrtka. What do you think? Does he have a higher upside? Does the limited offense hold him back? As always, thanks for watching. Drop your thoughts in the comments, like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content and the breakdown, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.